Okay, it's just a little after 5 o'clock in the morning, and in our imaginarium of urban air mobility and things that might be, we're getting airborne from Elstree. We're going to pick up some passengers. We might even take somebody with us because we're north of London. Elstree is up by Watford, north of London. Look, these are the engine, the rotor numbers. And very interestingly, I'm sat on the ground. The front two, 680, 670, 0 and 0 for the rear two. So I'm not sure what's going on there. Letterbox window view, because I realised in my silly gliding video you couldn't see when I was talking about this. I haven't been able to discern too much. I don't really know. Look, there's something to do with batteries and DC and all, something down here. But I'm blowed if I can see where I can see the state of the batteries in the current setup in Alia here. There might be a way, but I'm not clever enough to work it out yet. So anyway, that's the quad motors, if you will, the lift motors. This one down here reading 0, that's the rear motor for forward flight. So down to London City, which is down over that way. Pick up some people there. That's about 16.8 nautical miles away, and then transit across to Heathrow and work out what we're going to do, where we're going to land there when we get there, put it on the ground there, do something, and then back up to Elstree again. All I guess with you could have passengers for that, and this pretty much will be the bread and butter for this urban air mobility taxi malarkey. So with that, let's get airborne, I suppose. Let's look at those numbers. I haven't centered the it's early morning, sun's going to come up, be naughty, or just go direct. Let's go to a different view. Start bringing up the rear motor. We are on track, all is good. Ooh. My computer is not loving this. Right. I'm not sure whether I've been burning out that rear motor, and that's not been what I've been doing, or causing deep trouble, and that's why I've not been getting up to speed, because I notice it will. I guess in combination, I guess you can over rev it with the forward motors. The forward motors are going to stop now. We just 120 knots is fine. It would generally be absolutely fine. So this would be quite, we're left the track. This would be a bit of a headache of a drive. There's the sunrise, how lovely. Yeah, that'll center again. This would be a bit of a headache of a drive if you're not careful of a morning. Yeah, the RPM drops down. Let me move this across. It's sort of like there's feature creep on the I don't know if you can see it now. It's currently reading 1950, 1900. It's gently creeping down, so you've got to nudge it up. Oh, we're going well left of track. Oh, look, Heathrow. We're going to be in trouble with Heathrow. That little bit of a blue arc. So let's get out of the way there, because we don't want to be talking to them too early. Not paying attention. The autopilot doesn't seem to be working in this Alia iteration. There we are. We narrowly missed. Let me zoom in and show you. We narrowly missed Heathrow airspace there. Of course I meant to do that all along. Of course I did. Yeah, right, we did. We missed Heathrow airspace there. Tickety-boo. Oh, what a terrible job of flying on day. Yeah, the autopilot doesn't seem to be working, and I seem to be... Yeah, the other engine down to 17... Rear engine down to 1800. Oh, it's back up again. Oh well, it's early morning. I mean, who cares? Accurate flight means nothing, doesn't it? Back to 2140 on that. I just nudge the throttle again. So you use a button to nudge the throttle, and then nudge the throttle back up again. What are you doing? 100 odd knots. It's good enough for government work, isn't it? Knots, 122. Rush hour. Another hour in London, and this journey from Elstree down to London City would probably be, I don't know, by car, well, certainly a good hour, and by rail, a little bit cross city with some work required. I'm beginning to see the dome. That's on the Thames and near our destination. Can I move the cockpit across? I can. So maintaining 370, 380 RPM. So I'm flying this wrong. I'm definitely flying this wrong, because those things should be parking themselves. So I'll be creating drag now. So IR, there we are. I don't know why they stopped then. I slowed down a bit. That's what I thought would happen. So we should be slightly, I suppose, more efficient. Oh, there we are. Our airspeed's increasing. So this would be part of the vagaries and mysteries of things that I am yet to work out. The window display again, because I realised you couldn't see everything I was seeing, and I'm not a big flight sim fundy with all the best setups. This time in the morning London City would probably actually be closed, but I should have called them earlier, considering I'm in their airspace now. Oh, Caluculae. Right, let's get ourselves back on track, so a bit more lightly. The runway itself is in Docklands, in the what's our RPM there? It's in Docklands, the old docks. They built in the dock. They built the runways, or a runway, and I guess it's been open since the early 80s. About 1986, I went to a concert there, and not Good Morning Vietnam. What was one of those Vietnam? One of those Vietnam films. The Kubrick one was filmed there because he didn't like leaving London. I'm slowing down. This is what happened before. Nudge the RPM up on the back. 250. I am doing something wrong. I'm watching it more, but I'm doing something wrong with the RPM. It's night follows day. I'm doing something wrong. Forgotten where I put the wind. I think I put it at about 15 knots. Here's a dome built for the Millennium, and the city part, or the new finance part of London, with those big tower blocks over there on the right. Hello London City. This is me coming to you with some people who are very, very important, and that's why they can afford to be in this and not their private helicopter that they had anyway. Right, best we start thinking about bringing the rotors up, because we must surely spool those up before we spool. There's the runway, visual of the runway. Let's start spooling down the pushing motor, and let's get myself into a view that I'm a bit happier with for the landing. The clicking you'll be able to hear is me spooling down. spooling down the motor at the back, which again must be windmilling. So it's showing 670 RPM. We've got a 630 on the 50 knots showing. Let's bring the nose up a bit. Yeah, this probably would not be a government approved way of getting in here. 0 RPM now on the tail motor. Again, concentrating, flying and talking is not my forte. I've allowed it to slow down quite dramatically, 700 feet, 35 knots, so well. We might get away with a landing off this. 1000 RPM on the rotors, not the same. 980 front right, 1010 front left, 1060 and 1090 on the rights. Oh, that's where the XL is. I've been invited there loads of times. I did not know that that's where it was. Always very military, the drone stuff that's there, so I am less inclined to go to it. Right, rear motor is off, but it's showing 150 RPM now. That must be as I've been flaring. This is always where I let too much sink come up. I tend to rush at the ground and not catch it in time, as I think I've done now. I know we're going to get away with that, but I've landed short. All right. I've got some yaw on this. Let's just duck down then. Oh, look, the screen's all dirty. That's built into X-Plane, honest. And there's some water on the deck. I think they might have been overdoing that water effect in X-Plane12. I really think they might have been. Yeah, it's very nice, but puddles don't all look the same everywhere, do they? All those puddles all look the same. What's that over there? Is that a helicopter over there? Let's go and park next to him now. Feels like I've got. Oh, it must be the wind. That's what it is. It's the wind. Where's the windsock? No windsock in there. I've been on one of those Dorniers. They're very, very. Oh, it's not a helicopter at all. It's something or other. That looks like that's for us, doesn't it? Let's go for there. Whoa. Oh, I was down early. Alright. So there we are. Engines off. Open the doors. Things have stopped spinning. Swap everyone over. Blah, 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 blah. Because this is the reality of it, isn't it? That's exactly what would be happening now. There'd be lots of blah, blah. Oh, was that for us? That's nice of them, isn't it? We don't need it, mate. We're electric. Have you got a long cable? Blah, 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 blah. I'm getting bored here of sitting in here. Let's sit here for another minute, because that is, we've got to remember it, and say London City when we go. We're going to depart to the west, straight over the XL Centre, and make our way down the Thames to Heathrow. Right, everybody on board. Tighten everything up. Don't touch anything. Hold tight. If we all pray to a different God, then one of us will be right. That'll help us in the end run. We're off to go. Everybody tight lock. Doors closed. Ground handlers out the way. Blah 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 blah. This sort of bit, that sort of bit of urban air mobility is the bit I don't get, because the numbers that people are touting for, I'm making this last longer because this would be the reality of the situation, of people getting on board and all that. Oh, that's quite pretty, isn't it? Yeah, that might make a nice screenshot or something one day. Yeah, the people getting on and off, it's going to defeat the numbers for the number of flights that they're going to do per per hour in these things to be cost effective. But remember, the Alia people aren't going for this market; they're going for the cargo market. Right? Let's pretend everybody's on board and life is good, and we must go again. So here we go then. Eyes down for a full house. Airborne about 1200 RPM on those props. Let's just get ourselves out to the runway. At least that's the end of the runway. Order running departure. So we're not going to waste battery. So I don't know how to. Yeah, let's accelerate up there. There's no one there to damage with that red line. Please, pilot operating handbook for this thing. Right, going to start on that front motor. Rear motor, what am I talking about? So that's at not 2000 now, so I'm beginning to bring back the lift. And we're not going to follow direct track. We're going to go up the Thames to get to Heathrow, basically following the heli route. Very slowly reducing those. I'm going to cut the corner here, can't be asked. We go around the crane. I shouldn't jest that tall building, for those of you not in the UK or not up to speed with it, the Shard, a helicopter did actually hit, I think it hit a crane while they were building that early one morning. Right, let's nudge up. I'm redlining it at 2230 RPM just to try as 100 knots. We're not going to want to climb in this though. So that's that building. The tall pointy one is the Shard, and they call that one with the curved roof on the right the walkie-talkie, and that angled glass on it caused cars to melt parked underneath of it when the sun was right. See, I don't like this. Nothing on the lift motors. We're only doing 87 knots, and let's do what the Hunter did years ago. Coming the other way to celebrate 50 years of the Royal Air Force. The UK was in particularly struck times then as well, and they didn't have a big fly past or anything. So an RAF fellow was displeased with this, so decided to do just this through this bridge in his Hunter. Very, very famous. They didn't. Oh, I hope I don't hit it. That's Tower Bridge, and there we go. I put a little bit of vertical lift motors in there because to aid me in the climb. I don't like being down here. Don't like being down here at all. I'm really redlining at 2300 RPM. I don't like doing that as well. So I'm doing something wrong here now. If you can suggest in the comments what on earth I'm doing wrong, that'd be really good. Right, there's no lift coming now. London Eye, you're doing the tourist thing. That was Parliament. No one home there. No need to worry about that place. In my first video, oh no, here's Parliament, but I beg your pardon. In my first video, I said that Alia has 250 miles, statute miles, and I see I'm losing altitude in that turn. So that's one of the things. And I also said it did 150 miles per hour. I was wrong. It's knots. I had a look at their website. It's knots. I don't know what that building is there. I absolutely don't know what that building is there. Oh well. Battersea Power Station, Battersea Heliport will be coming up shortly. Very, very expensive place to land a helicopter. If we're to go there. and the improved scenery. If you've only watched the first video, and this is the last video in this part of the series, the Orbix scenery. If you just drop your Orbix scenery, extra scenery from your scenery folder, it works. This is what it is. This is from X-Plane12, so it works fine in this. So that's fantastic. 2270 for the RPM it is. See, it does decay slightly, and it seems like I'm making good at about 100 knots generally. Yeah. What else was I going to say about doing? Oh, don't forget to change the scenery ini file. If you do drop it in, open. So drop it in, copy and paste it into your new X-Plane12 scenery folder. Extras. It's not called extra scenery or something. Drop it into it, and then open and close X-Plane. And God, it's a lot of building. All these cranes. Open and close X-Planes, and Battersea Heliport will be coming up shortly. I'm not going to go there. We can't afford to go there, even though we're very wealthy. Open and close X-Plane. That'll update the ini file, and then you need to open it again after that and move your Orbix or whatever its files it is, Ortho4XP files, into below. They'll arrive in the wrong place in that hierarchy, so you just need to move them down. That's all. Honest governor. That was Battersea, we just got past there. Right, let's stop just following the Thames. There would be an awful lot of traffic coming above our heads now. An awful lot of traffic. I'm just powering up a bit of height. Let's see a dog, see a rabbit. I don't know where we're headed to the south of the airport, and we'll head try and go to Terminal 5, park there. We'll pretend we're putting someone at Terminal 5. The only downside is that is we'll be then departing over the airfield. Over the live runways is what I mean. So we potentially have to hover and hold for quite a long time waiting for departing aircraft. So I suppose, let me change my mind in flight, I suppose you'd land to the north at Heathrow somewhere. Then for destinations north, our destination will be north. It'll be Elstree. There's the runways now. So yeah, you'd land north, come in from the north, wouldn't you? Similarly, if you were going south, you'd head south. Guess the rugby ground, Twickenham's out here somewhere. Might even be over there. I don't know. I don't know this part of London. Let's jump back in the cockpit and consider our. That's where we are. knots. Just merging on the. There's a runway. I'm going to keep going like this so I cross the centre line. Is that Twickenham there? I don't know. All I know is when I landed in England a couple of months ago, I saw an IKEA or something like that on the way in. $23.10. The RPM's crept up again. It's dropping it down a touch. So I think I have been burning my previous flights. I've been burning that motor out. Oh, Wimbledon's round here somewhere as well, isn't it? Don't know. You can drop in the comments below what I'm flying over now. I do not know this part of London at all. So the engine's deciding to spool down even more. 2170, 2160. What have I done? Have I run out of fuel? Have I don't know. Right, let's go into this view. Oh, there's Tesco's. Oh, what's that building? That's on the M40. I think That used to have a Hunter on the roof. That was like a Hoover factory or something. There used to be a Hunter jet aircraft parked on the roof of that as an attraction. And I guess somebody to the north of the airfield here will open up some sort of facility for. Right, I'm spooling up the quad motors just because I probably should. Probably shouldn't just think about. Oh, there's a model flying club up here, isn't there, next to the M4? Maybe they can. Right, let's start losing that rear motor. I bet that's what I've been doing. I noticed the RPM just shooting up as I'm spooling up there. Or shooting up. I bet I've been over speeding that rear motor. Right, hello Heathrow, good morning. This is me coming to you, north side, somewhere other place. We're just going to look for a playing field or something. I'm sure there's some right on the edge because there was in the early days of our world, there were some drone sightings here, and it was actually aircraft from the Model Aircraft Club that's been there forever, since before Heathrow was a thing. Oh, that's my computer not loving life. Where are we going to go? Who are we going to make wealthy? I'm sure there's playing fields over there at Haynes. Because again, partly the reason I'm sort of doing this is because Altitude Angel had a flight that suggested you'd go from London City to Heathrow. But what would that actually look like? What are the implications of that? Pretty sure over there is where all the hire cars go. Let's go in over there. Wish I had remembered where I'd set the wind, so I'd know whether I'm into wind or not. Heathrow Vertiport, Heathrow Vertiport. Hello, this is me with, I don't know, 4 passengers on board. With you in about 30 seconds. The owners of number 42 Acacia Avenue, now multi-millionaires because they've sold their back garden as a vertiport. Let's just not take ourselves over the hazards, though we didn't crash into them earlier. 900 RPM on the RPM on the rear motor now. I hadn't noticed that depart. 1,000. I reckon we must be about into wind. So a very tentative landing for me because I'm not used to this thing. Get the kettle on, missus. Oh, that was hard. That was hard, wasn't it? Oops. That was pride coming for a fall. Right, all in, all out. Away we go, here we go. Blah, 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 blah. And let's just go, because I'm getting bored. They were really quick. Everyone's hatching the harnesses, tight locked, blah, 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 blah. Let's go. Right, that's good, that's good, that's good. Let's fly around the runway, just because we can. Let's go sightseeing now. Let's start 400 RPM on that rear motor without doing anything. I just want to look at the aeroplanes now. Bringing back the So my computer's slowing down. Back to Elstree. Oh, computer stoppage. Oh. So RAF Northolt's going to come over. Right, let's just check everything. We've still not. Oh, right, I didn't have the throttle all the way down. Right, I've definitely got rid of the top motors now. 2,000 RPM on the motor. Now, we were doing a lot more than that before, weren't we? 2190. This, in the early hours of the morning, would definitely be a long journey. Definitely take you hours to go from Elstree to City across to Heathrow and up again to drive, and it would be a nightmare if you were on the train. Lots of changes it would be. Lots and lots of changes. There's RAF Northolt, we're going to cross Colour Beam very shortly. Now descending. Why is it losing 100 RPM? I am not flying this properly. There's going to be a big interaction with pitch and drag caused by everything on top. There's bound to be. So I am doing something wrong. I am powering up the VTOL motors. I don't like this. So whilst I was able to soar it, there was something about the way I'm flying it. Yes, you've got a 650 RPM. I'm just helping us up a little bit. Maybe that's what they do. Maybe they help it up to height and rely on a really slippy aeroplane to let them sort of glide down a little bit. Maybe that's what I'm doing wrong. We've been in the air for about, we've been flying for just about 30 minutes, and we've probably been actually sat around for, it's probably at 33 minutes now, 34 minutes. Wembley would be around here somewhere. I'm creeping down, 104, creeping down, so I'll just creep up. I am doing something wrong with the controls here. Will there come a day when there is an autonomous vehicle flying back and forth, triangles like this, in London, with people? With another one behind me. You know, you could imagine them going around in blocks or chains, clockwise, anti-clockwise, But then how many, if each one's 5 minutes on the ground, you have to have 12, that would be 12 slots an hour, wouldn't it? That's hardly anything. Is that cost effective? Is that really what we want in the world? I'm just setting myself up for approach to the east-west runway. It's around the back of that lake, I seem to recall. And then we'll turn right. I hope I'm right. I think I'm right. Right, so we should start losing that rear motor. I've got those going. Let's start losing that. And let's go to that inside view I like. Still 1,000 RPM on those motors. Now where's that airfield? Oh, there it is. I knew it was in there somewhere. Yeah, VR would be nice. See that rain? Yeah. All right, I'm not gonna land off this because that was awfully wrong. See if I can see what the windsock's doing. So I'm into wind now. Okay, we know that. Look, I've got to get the maintenance crew to sort out this windscreen. I mean, look how dirty it is when we're in the sun. I'm just pushing the the VTOL motors up above 1,000 revs. I think we said we hovered nicely at 1,200, whereas our speed was. Yeah, I felt the ground. I think I'm feeling the ground speed going up. So I reckon we are downwind. No, we're not. It's a little bit maybe, but not much. Elstree, get the breakfast on. The wind is behind and right. This is a bit I always get wrong. Here, I've done it again. I'm letting this speed, I'm letting the rate of descent build up too much. Let's go up and get over there anyway. It's where we get it came from. Was there something there? I can't remember if there's something part just to the left, is it? No, right. Let's park here. Oh, is that a helipad over there? Look, let's put us in. Yes, go there. Look, we're just about being to wind. Let's be super lazy. Captain fly up and down, aren't they? Lining it up because there'll be some pedant that won't like it that we're not lined up with everybody else. The airport manager will come out and tell us off. Yeah, don't like these puddles. They're too samey. They're too meh. Don't like them at all. Look, let's go back here. That one will look like that one. Will look like that one. Yeah, don't like those. Oh, should have worried about the landing rather than worrying about the puddles. Right, all right, we're on the ground. What are we after about 40 minutes of flying time all around the bay? So that's pretty cool, isn't it? Let's go outside one way or another. Well, it's quite a nice reflection, I suppose. Where was the better view? Is that the better view? Yeah, it's about 40 minutes to go around London. Unload people at London City and at Heathrow and come back here, perhaps bring some people back here. I struggle to see the use case. I really struggle to see the use case for this sort of thing for passenger. Yeah, look at those puddles. No. I wonder how I get rid of them. There must have been some setting for saying it was dry or wet or something. But yeah, this seems like a fun thing to fly. And as a millionaire's toy, I think it would be amazing. I think I'd much rather have one of these than a conventional helicopter, should I have the cash. But of course I don't have the cash, so it's not going to come my way. I'm very interested to see. I also noticed that they don't have rudder pedals in the actual real thing. So it is twist on the joystick as well. So wouldn't it be lovely to have a copy there? And look, those puddles are going the wrong way there. And anyway, I'm obsessing about puddles. Interesting thing. Right, now I really am going to try and get it flying under RG Pilot if I can find out a way of controlling these individual motors. If I can't, I won't be able to get it stable. I have enjoyed flying this. Thank you very much, folks at X-Plane. Thank you very much, the folks from Beta Technologies, for allowing some of the IP of their Alia to go out in the wild. Like, subscribe, do whatever else you need to do on the tube of the U. Leave friendly comments, unfriendly comments. We don't mind. We take them all. See you at 2100 at GMT, Tuesday night, for our normal drone and sundry chat of nonsense. This concludes Alia flying until it's anonymous. Autonomous. Cheers for now. Bye bye.